We have talked about E2 visa previously, but in this video, I'll be talking about E1 visa. My name is Bijoux Ngwanda. I'm an immigration lawyer here based in DC. I do work with individuals across the country and around the world because we're dealing with U.S. immigration laws and we're dealing with complex U.S. immigration cases. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. If you enjoy the content, please go ahead and share, like, and don't forget to comment below. Let's get right into it. E1 visa. E1 visa is issued to E1 treaty traders and their employees who are national of countries with a treaty of commerce and navigation with the US. So you must come from a country that has a treaty of commerce or navigation with the US. Who qualifies for treaty trader visa? Well, if you have a business and you are looking for a way to work in the US, that's when you can consider E1 visa. To qualify for E1 treaty trader visa, the foreign national of a treaty country must carry on a substantial trade between the US and their country. Substantial trade. That's the key word right there. And some of the items of trade can be goods, services, international banking, insurance, transportation, tourism, technology and its transfer, some news gathering activities. At least 50% of the volume of trade carried out must be between the US and the designated treaty country. Now we're going to talk about, remember, the person who has a business, right, who's considering coming to the US and work in the US can actually hire employees. And who is qualified? Who qualifies for E1 employee visa? To qualify for E1 employee visa, the foreign national must be engaged in duties of an executive or supervisory character. You must be either an executive or a supervisor. Or if you are an employee in a lesser capacity, you must have a social qualification that make the employee, your services essential to the efficiency operation of the treaty enterprise. So, well, how does this one work? Okay. National of treaty countries must own at least 50% of the business for it to qualify as an e-trader. What is the exception? The exception is where a business is controlled equally by national of two treaty countries. A business may only have one nationality for E1 purposes. Where a business is controlled equally by national of two treaty countries, person from either treaty country will be eligible for E1 visas. That's the difference right there. Family members. Remember, you come to the US, you have a business, you want to work, and you're part of the country that has a treaty of commerce or navigation with the United States, and you happen to have family, like you're married with kids and wife. So family members, so pretty much your family members, immediate relative of E1 visa holders are eligible for dependent visa. So pretty much your spouse of the E1 principal is also entitled of work authorization. Your kids might not work, but because maybe their children under the age of 21, but your spouse is entitled to the work authorization. So how long can you stay? Qualified treaty traders and employees will be allowed a maximum initial stay of 2 years. Requests for extension of stay or changes of status to E1 classification may be granted in increments of up to 2 years each. So there's no limit to the number of extension in E1 non-immigrant visa may be granted. All E1 non-immigrant, however, must maintain an intention to depart the U.S. when their status expires or terminated. Intent to depart when the status gets expired or terminated. How do you get started? That's the question, right? Well, you file the application with E1 visa. You file the application either with USCIS or U.S. Embassy. And then you determine, before you even file the application, you have to determine whether you come from that country, right? If you go to uscis.gov, you find out whether your country is part of that trade, commerce, or navigation with US. So, and let's say, for example, you came here with a B1/B2 visa and you get an offer, a job offer, and you want to become an E1 employee. You have to make sure that you consult with an attorney to find out whether within that time period that you got here, you are still eligible to be an employee, whether your visa is still valid, or whether you are still in lawful non-immigrant status. Because everything that you have to do, you have to double check whether you are in lawful non-immigrant status. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Okay? If you have more questions, please call 202-751-2180. Email bijoux.ngwanda@gmail.com for your consultation, and consultation fees apply as usual. I am going to be talking about those employer type of non-immigrant visas, and I'm going to be talking about employers immigrant visas as well. So stay tuned for next episode. Previously we talked about E2. You can refer back to my previous videos, but this one really, it's about E1. There's a little bit of difference between E1 and E2. But if you have more questions, again, just try to find out whether you qualify. And this applies to people who actually are either here or abroad. Okay? So if you're abroad, please email me instead of calling. Email me so we find out whether you qualify. Join our Facebook group and post your first question. Then we'll be able to answer you there as well. Until next time, bye-bye.